I feel like we are so lucky to be alive on the planet right now. I feel everybody is kind of tapping in and tuning into a different kind of consciousness that's available. And what's so exciting is when we have our colors done and we have our personal portrait, it's fortifying us with this individual energy, this individual strength, this individual empowerment, so that we stay tuned into ourself. We stay tuned into our creativity, our artistry, our contribution to the planet. So most of the world is outer referenced, which means that once we get dressed in the morning, we are very, very affected by everybody's opinion. When you have your palette done, it's your own DNA portrait of yourself, so it gives you your own containment and your own inner strength and your own vitality, so that you don't need to look outside for the answers when everything is within. And I remember that my teacher telling me that, and I thought, thank goodness, right? Because I feel, particularly in this country, we're very much caught up with image, and our journey with this work is the journey from image to essence. And what we're here, we're kind of congregating here as a group and as a team to see what our strengths are, what our challenges are, and how we can relate more effectively to the world around us. Each season has its gift and its strength. So the spring, of course, is all about the new birth of the season. And the springs just love play. When you think of a long winter and the rebirth of spring, everything is springing forth with renewed energy. What happens in the summer is what we call the living in a state of grace. So the heat of the sun slows us down, we seek the shade, but we're honoring this time of, I would say it's a reflection, but it's almost a thoughtfulness. It's looking at, if we make this choice, what will be the ramifications? So I always tease my summers and say, all the summer men are engineers and they got us to the moon and outer space. They have this amazing ability to process life, the opposite of us. And then, of course, we have our amazing autumns who teach us about harvest. And the reason I talk to my autumns all the time about creating a win-win, creating partnership on the planet, creating the fact that there isn't scarcity, that we do live in abundance, and how to access that. So that's the gift of the autumn. And the winters is actually, we have the black and white discernment. So on our watch in Mother Nature, we're looking at the time of winter, when we're looking at the new year and what we want to create the next year and what we want to let go of. And it's a time of looking inward for the answers. So that's our gift. And we also have that ability. It's the only time in Mother Nature that we see black and white. So you and I have that power within ourselves to make that level of discernment. So the autumn is making it from a very pragmatic, earthy point of view. Because our energy is from the moon, I call us the mystics. So we're the ones that have that inner knowledge of the subconscious, the inner conscious, the inner self, the higher self. And the reason people really appreciate us is we understand mastery and perfection. So when I was working with Suzanne, I said, oh, I like that perfection. And she said to me, Jennifer, being the autumn that she was, she said, it's really important to know when to use it. Because perfection is a wonderful thing to strive for as a winter, but a lot of people can be left out. So we want to have that striving for self-mastery and a life of continually ascending, continually advancing forward as a humanity, continually kind of spiraling upward. But it's really bringing everybody with us, being inclusive. And because you and I know how to be kind of the hermits and we know how to isolate, our biggest challenge is to not be over-isolating, to find the way to include other people. The autumn, on the other hand, because they're so strong, they have the lioness energy, then they're afraid of like, uh-oh, am I going to be too strong? The summer, of course, is afraid of being too soft, and the spring is afraid of not being taken seriously. So here we have the planet, learning to be ourselves. And I remember when I had my colors done, I looked at my closet, and of course, being in the fashion industry, I had every season. And I looked at it and I said, why did I have spring? And I thought, I think when I didn't feel secure, when I didn't feel people liked me, I thought, okay, I'll just kind of look cuter. And if I look friendlier, right, people will relate to me better. Not a good idea. So then I'll move on to summer. So then I looked at my closet and I thought, I have these colors that really kind of gray me out, and I kind of look older in them actually. And when I thought about that, what was my thought process in buying those clothes? And I realized I thought I was too intense. So winters have this intensity. We're told we're too much. Okay, good. Then I'll just soften down. And then, of course, I've totally lost my power. And then with the autumn for me is very masculine. I grew up with 5 brothers. I was very competitive. I either wanted to be better than them or one of them, right? Not very smart of me, but that was my life lesson, obviously. So for me, that was very strong. And for a lot of people, it was too off-putting because I was too strong. And I was using an energy that wasn't really native to me. And so people can handle a winter intensity. They can't handle a winter trying to be an autumn. So you see that in many ways I'm describing the life path, our life lessons, our life opportunities, why we're all here. So every season is learning everything, and we're all trying to beat each other, and then we finally have this opportunity through our own individual color palette to come home to ourselves. So today is about the celebration, and particularly for winters, seeing the refinement of that, because we have soft winters in the room, we have antique winters, patrician winter, exotic winter, dynamic winter, all of the different kinds of winters. So what is that delineation of what's different between us? So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you the results of the wardrobe exercise that we did while you were doing your work. So because Leah and her friend live a distance, tell me your name again? Diana, okay. Diana and Leah live a distance. What they did was brought some clothes for me to look at. And they're going to hold up the things that don't work. I will explain what season they are, right? So remember, Leah is a winter. And so we're looking for the colors to have the value of her intensity. So this first dress is spring. So what's happening when she holds it up, it's not terrible. It's not like it's orange. But there, you can see there's more intensity and strength in her face than is in the red. So again, it's close, but not perfect. All right? Then the next one, we remember we winters love things that are bright and happy. And of course, this again is spring. Remember our opposite that we're attracted to. And so this was in her closet. So I know when I say it, it seems, oh yeah, I know I don't pick that. But because I've done wardrobes for many, many years, and I know what was in mine, we do pick it. And so that's why we have all the classes to keep practicing so that we don't make the mistakes. So now, and then this one, again, is there's too much yellow in it. So what we don't want as a winter is what we call middle value colors. So this color's in the middle. So we either want an icy or pastel, or we want a color that has depth, a jewel tone, and a strength. So now she's going to show you the ones that we said yes to, that she's going to keep. So there's one, right? So again, her face, comes forward, and her strength. There's something also about the winter. You can see in her that there's a majestic quality. She's very regal, right? And we can see that in this. And then I think we have another one as well. Yeah, so this has more magenta in it, and magenta is in her skin tone. So that's why we are trained to paint your skin tone. That's why it takes us so many hours to train to do this work. We're trained as a technician of color and an intuitor of color. Beautiful.
So would you repeat that about the mid-values?
So the color's in the mid-range. This one has more ice and more magenta, so it goes with her skin. And that one has more gold or yellow in it. And that yellow goes with the gold or yellow in a spring.
Got it.
The springs usually have more gold in their skin. So close, right? Very, very close. But you can see the magenta one, right? Just kind of brings her in more.
And that one hides her.
That one fights, yeah.
So nice and bright, right? But it's still
Great distinction.
Yeah, thank you.
So is it
Good job.
about saturation?
It's the amount of saturation,
Okay.
and the actual pigment itself is cooler. So her skin has more purple in it
Got
rather than yellow,
Got it, okay,
right?
all right.
Thank you. Good job. So let's raise our hand in honor of Mother Nature and everything that she's given us, and we get to live in her glory. So it is. Thanks, everybody. Yay.